be a part of. But first, let me welcome you back on the show. 11 minutes gone past 5. The dial still 92.3 Nigeria Info. The show still Hard Facts. I am Kalada Kurubatubo still. And yes, we're still live on Facebook, YouTube, and active on X Nigeria Info PH. And the conversations continue here. All right, so thank you very much for being on the other, for still being on the other side of the radio. And let's now have a conversation. So if you'd listened to the 5 o'clock news update, you must have heard one of the stories talking about a bill seeking to amend the Electoral Act of 2022. Now, ever since the election, as a matter of fact, the last hour, somebody called in and talked about amending the Electoral Act and allowing for electronic transmission of results. So once the voting is done at the polling unit, everybody gets to know what transpired irrespective of where they are in the world. And that is just one of the many arguments and debates and clamor that has been ongoing in Nigeria as it relates to amending the Electoral Act since the 2023 elections. Oh, do it like this. Oh, do it like that. And to be honest, amendment conversations are happening at the National Assembly. Some of these amendments we've talked about, rotational presidency, we've talked about some of these things. But none of it is, in my opinion, has really hit that point where I say, oh, no, yes, this is the one thing that will bring about a massive change to the electoral system. I remember when Beavers, was talked about and put in the Electoral Act of 2022, a lot of us clapped and said, yes, this will bring about a change. It did bring about a change. Was it effective? Yes. Was it perfect? No. Was it effective once again? Yes. And we all want a good Nigeria. We just talked about Nigeria being a great place to be and how we can make that greatness become our reality. We've talked about that. I'm one of the people who would come and preach to you once the elections are nigh that, hey, everybody go out there and vote because we want to make sure our votes count so that we can bring that greatness once again to reality. Everybody, or almost everybody, apart from those probably enjoying it, agree that we are the problem of Nigeria. I'm talking about every one person in Nigeria, the leadership, the followers are the problem. I mean, we've argued that, and I think we've come to an agreement. While some tilt towards leadership, others tilt towards the followers. But I say Nigerians in its generality are the problems or are the problem of the country. And if that is the case, we need to get the electoral system right to be able to get Nigeria working and working the way it should work. If Nigeria were working there, I played a sound bite the last few minutes of the last conversation, and it talked about we donating $100 million to Russia. Look at Russia today. Then it was, I think, the Soviet Union. We talked about we donating or was it lending money to Dubai, or I guess that was UAE. Look at those countries today. It talked about we playing the big brother role in Africa. Oh my goodness, we can't take care of ourselves today. So it behoves on us. It is pertinent. It is an emergency for us to get our electoral system working and working right. It's an emergency. We need a state of emergency in the electoral system. However, I wonder if this bill that has been put out that is being discussed by the House of Reps making it mandatory for every eligible Nigerian to vote will cure the madness that has bedeviled our electoral system, will cure the madness that make politicians behave the way they do. Someone said the last hour that if our politicians know that the electoral system works, that they will sit up and do the right thing. I wonder if making it mandatory for everybody to vote will cure, anomalies like vote buying, ballot snatching, because even with beavers, we still saw it in some areas, manipulation of results, going to the courts for answers to electoral malpractices, where we see certain officials like, in 2023 tried to manipulate the system like it was in Adamawa State. I could go on and on and on. And I'm wondering if everyone eligible voter would go out and vote on election day, if it will stop the anomalies. Anyways, just so you know, the House of Reps is looking at a bill to make it mandatory for every 18-year-old and above, as long as I believe you're not sick or you're not about to die, to make sure you vote on election day. Whether it is local government elections, whether it is state government elections, whether it is federal government elections, you must vote. The key word, must. You must vote. What do you think will be the impact if such a bill is passed into law? And do you think it should be even passed into law? I'd like to get your thoughts on this very one. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0007. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. Do you even think it is possible, with the over 200 million Nigerians that we have and a voting strength of about 100 million, 100 million thereabout, do you think? I mean, to get people to register for voting is even a problem. Do you think it is even possible to get all eligible people, 18 to 100 years old people, to go out there and vote? Mandatory, by the way. We're not saying if you can influence them or cajole them. We are saying if you can force them to go out there and vote. It's even possible in the first place. So I'll go to the phone lines now. I'll take the first one. I missed it. Do call back if you can. Remember, you can send in WhatsApp messages as well. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Good evening.
Good evening, Canada.
Yeah.
I think is
let's start with knowing your name. What's your name?
Oh, my name is AB from Port Harcourt.
All right, AB from Port Harcourt. Welcome.
For me, it's not a problem. It's not how many people that have voted is the issue. It's whether it counts. Because if 10 people voted, 10,000 voted, and it counts, no problem. It will make other people vote next time. But even if the whole country, even from a newborn baby, they say it's mandatory to all to come out to vote. And at the end of the day, it didn't count, or we have like an issue with it. It's just voting in futility. So for me, what we should be pressing at is electronic transmission of vote, whatever thing in the polling unit. And if but maybe
it will be difficult. Imagine if in a polling unit you have like 100,000 people, right, in one polling unit. It would be difficult for one person or two people or five people to come and say they want to carry the ballot box or the beavers or INEC officials or whatever it is. So maybe it solves the problem.
Even if they didn't carry it, they don't go and write their report. See, what happened in River State? Under my nose, we voted and everything. And they said, okay, Chebo. At the end of the day, they announced different things.
Okay.
Even if you like, let everybody be in the stadium. What will happen will still happen.
Okay. So it's transmitting of results, and that's will solve the problem, I guess.
Okay, Canada. Where will you start? You start a new voter registration or what?
It will still be with the current registration. But anyways, I've got to go. AB, thank you for your thoughts. I've got Gift from Okrika. Gift, welcome. What is on your mind? I would love to hear from you.
Kalada Bakuru, good evening.
Yes, just go with Canada. It's fine.
As of Red wants to make voting mandatory.
Mandatory, compulsory. Yeah.
It cannot be possible.
Why
it cannot be possible? Because the previous election that we did, every Nigerian trusted INEC for the promise that they promised that they will give Nigerians free and fair election, credible election. Device machine will work. Everything will work perfectly. But at the end, every Nigerian bring out their minds, went to the polling booth, make an accreditation, did every vote. But at the end, what Nigerians see is a fool to Nigeria. They fool every Nigerian. Even they cannot upload the presidential.
But so this is the question I'm asking. Don't you think it would be too difficult to fool Nigerians if all eligible are voting?
What happened 2023 is very, very possible to fool Nigerians.
Okay, your opinion.
And fool Nigerians because their vote did not count.
That's your opinion, by the way.
It will be very, very difficult for now the House of Assembly can pass it as a bill, but it will not be possible for Nigerians, every Nigerian to go and vote. As for me and my family, if we be in our house,
but that would be against. So if there's a law, that would be against the law, and you would be maybe sent to prison or liable to punishment.
They will not do anything. They will not do anything to me at all. They will not do anything.
All right.
Because they are not feeding me. They don't know my suffering.
All right, Gift. I've got a commercial. I've got to go. Is it Ken? Quickly, 30, 40 seconds. Let's get your thoughts.
That is impossibility of political nature, which you know.
Okay.
That compulsorily, one must vote on a voting day. What about those in the correction center? What about those in hospital? What about those that are not, let me say, legible? So if they want to give us a bill, let them pass a bill that will look acceptable for the masses, and not as if they want to enslave us into electoral processes. Why they are the fault of the manipulation.
All right. Is it Ken? Apologies, I would have to stop you there. I've got a commercial coming up. Do stay tuned.
Nigeria Info. Right back after this.
Mommy, you want to
Anyways, before I go back to what we've been trying to talk about, let's listen to this guy again. I think I like what this guy said, so I'm going to play it.
You can't reconcile the fact that our soldiers are being chased around by bandits. Yes, the same Nigerian army restored peace in Sierra Leone, disbanded the rebel group and arrested their leader for the Sanko and imprisoned him in Nigerian police station. You will say
the same.
Or this same army went to Liberia under a common and brought peace and democracy and disbanded all the rebel. How do you reconcile that? How do you reconcile the fact that this country gave financial aid to Dubai in 1973? How do you reconcile that? Now, but I'm telling you practical things that this country has done. In 1985, when there was a Chinoba leak, Babangida gave $100 million donation to Russia as solidarity. So this country is not a country. Nigeria is a serious country. But we have a generation of political leaders who have made us a laughing stock. But we can fix it.
All right, so you painted us a picture of what was and what is, and looking at what was, it gives me the hope that Nigeria is fixable. And when you look at that previous conversation and you look at the conversation we're having now, there is a nexus, there is a link, and we say, okay, we want a Nigeria that works, because these other countries are building visa walls, they're making it very difficult for us to get to their country, and if that is the case, then we need to come back to our own country and fix it. No other person will fix it better than we ourselves. And here is one problem, leadership problem. And how do we get good leaders? Elections. Elections are the means by which we get leaders, right? And so if we get a good electoral system, then there is the possibility that majority of the leaders we would have would be good leaders. Majority, not all, because there is no perfect or utopian society. That be the case. What do you make of the bill saying it is mandatory for all eligible Nigerians 18 years and above to go out on election day and vote, be it local government, be it state government, or even the national elections? So the numbers are the same. If you're just tuning in, you're welcome. 92.3 Nigerian versus the frequency. Kalada Kurubataboy is my name. The show Hard Facts. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007. This one says, Kalada, Nigeria can be cured if the constitution guiding us is duly followed, regardless of whose ox is God. Starting with our leaders, we should be held accountable, right, in service. Impeach erring leaders. I guess this is from the last conversation, where he said impeach erring leaders, fix things that the country depends upon to make our income. Example, the refinery. There should be basic amenities available for the citizens. If erring leaders are called to book, as subordinates will follow suit. So you see, there is a link. But Christian Ogbolo says, first question, how can they do it? Secondly, you can't force people to vote. It's a choice. This one says, good evening. If voting is not as simple as using a device to vote for the candidate of your choice, then I will never dream of voting for anyone. I am God's power from old GRA. This one says, there is no way to get voters above 18 years to go and mandatorily vote during election, because voting in River State is an exercise in fertility, as votes don't count. Hence, they should relax, because that law won't hold water. But let's listen to Chima calling from Port Harcourt. Chima, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
They're talking about making voting compulsory, right?
Yeah.
In the only way you can make voting compulsory in Nigeria is you can vote from anywhere, irrespective of where you start. Like when you start in Umuahia, Abia State. I cannot always travel to Umuahia, Abia State to vote. If it is possible for me to vote anywhere I find myself, then make it compulsory. You just walk into the police station, slot your voter's card and vote. It's as simple as that. You can't force people to travel to where they start, and then you're making it compulsory. Doesn't work that way.
All right, Chima, thank you. It doesn't work that way, you say. All right, Imam from Port Harcourt.
Okay. In terms of the lawmakers, it's not a problem if they want everybody to vote. For me, I don't think that's a problem. If they want the uniform,
to vote. 2027, no problem. But the lawmakers also should come for what we Nigerians do to them if they refuse to do the right thing. If they refuse to give us the vote, whoever we have put in. If they give us assurance, if they tell us what we do to them, I believe me myself I will vote. But without that, I will not vote. Then secondly, INEC, Nigerians have to vote INEC down. They should also tell us what we do to INEC if the INEC refuses to give us what we want. As the man we have voting like we did in 2023, and we did whatever they feel they did to take away our blessings. But it was done. So they should tell us. Without that, me, like that, I don't think I'll vote again in Nigeria.
All right. So if they make it compulsory, it would be a crime if you don't vote. I hope you've taken that into cognizance.
It's better to go to jail than to yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, thank you very much. Emmanuel says it is better to go to jail than to vote. But let's take a listen. Okay, this guy, Andy Akpotive just called, so let's listen to him.
Canada, the truth of the matter is that this bill is the most nauseating, the most irritating, the most jaundiced, the most stupid bill any parliament in the world would be pushing. And for me, it is very eye-keen that is the speaker that is even introducing this. And these are my reasons. First off, what are the reasons behind people not voting? One, because their votes have been proven not to have counted. Two, people do not vote sometimes because of financial reasons. I registered in Lagos, and within the time of my registration, I moved house. I moved from where I was staying in Lagos and I moved to Delta State, or I moved to River State. Are they saying that I'm going to have to then travel back to Lagos to go and vote? Otherwise, the police will come and arrest me. How do they intend to enforce this? That's why I'm saying that these people don't even know what they are doing. The 1 billion naira that they are giving them for constituency allowance has affected their thinking, so that right now they are thinking from places where they are not supposed to be thinking from. I kid you not, Kalada. Nothing has irritated me the most for all of today than this nonsense that I've heard. How do they intend to implement it? Is it the Nigerian police that they will not send to be going to people's houses to go and confirm addresses? They will look at the total number of people that were registered against the total number of votes cast in that place. They will subtract it and they will go and start searching the other people. Oh, you, why did you not vote? You were sick, Abi? Okay, we cancel it. You, why did you not vote? You were not able to do transport from where you were because they posted you to another place. Okay, you, why did you not vote? Because you had to go and attend to your child. You, why did you not vote? They will not be doing that. These people are taking us all for a ride. And indeed, the earlier we started this revolution, to remove these people who are misfits, who should be there, to remove them from the house, the better for Nigeria. It is very nauseous, very irritating, Kalada. I kid you not. If you simply make the voting process seamless, you simply made every vote that is cast, you made it to count, you'll find out that naturally people will be voting. If you also wanted them to vote, build the system such that anybody can vote from anywhere that he is in at any time. Just by the punch of a button, just by the same thing that happens with your ATM card. You just went somewhere, you put your ATM card that is close by you and you are able to vote. These people know what to do, but they are fooling with us because Nigerians do not know how to demand accountability from those people they have sent to go and represent it. That's why they are fooling with us. Otherwise, somebody should have asked if something is fundamentally wrong with their brains. I am totally very offended. All
right. Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much. Well, this one says, please don't go back to that midnight program again. Victor from Egbeman. Move on. Let's say out of Nigerian population, 10 million people didn't vote. Do Nigeria have the capacity to arrest and prosecute 10 million Nigerians? I mean, that's a good question. That's a good one. Asetikoe from our 3 salutations, KDB. I will lead the group of those to go to prison and let them please expand the prisons. I am begging them. Our leaders always major in the minor and minor in the major. The same country that don't even know the number of its citizens, they are joking with themselves. These people are wasting our resources, honestly, and then you use the laughing emoji. This one says, I am pained being a veteran of the armed forces of Nigeria, seeing my colleagues being killed every day by rebels. Why government giving amnesty to terrorists? Okay, that's not my conversation, but Jimbo Baraye, Karibon Nelson from a good town. I feel your pain. I feel your pain, really, I do. But that's not the conversation right now. This one says, Canada, making laughable laws or passing ridiculous bills is nothing new again to our lawmakers. What matters is implementation. How do you expect to implement the law that says all citizens of age should vote? Would you drive them from their houses? I really weep for our country. You didn't drop your name. But it just says, good evening, presenter. For compulsory voting, will INEC even cover the voting registration before election? That's another one. INEC in itself has got a problem with that, right? Let them start to build bigger prisons. Barry Ball from Port Harcourt. But let's come here. Hi, Canada. Good afternoon. Impossible for all Nigerians to be forced to vote. Why are these politicians so deceitful? Instead of seeking to develop and perfect the electoral system, how will they force people to vote? Is it possible? Voting is by choice, not by force. Normally, Nigerians will be eager to come out for election if it is free and fair and their votes will count. Why are they not planning for e-voting? As for me, until Nigeria does e-voting, when I can vote from my bedroom, no more voting. I cannot be standing in the sun to vote. Oh, goodness, thank you very much. Compulsory voting, we're talking. But what are your thoughts? I'd like to know. Benson Oluwagbemiga from Akure on those states says, compelling every eligible voter to vote will not work because it will not count. And when it will get to what will benefit the masses, like that of palliatives, it will go one-sided. Okay, all right. Let's come here. This one says, good evening, Mr. K, but the Nigerian electoral system is not encouraging because at the end of any election, people are there to manipulate election results to favor a particular political party. Majority of Nigerians have lost confidence in Nigeria's election. I want to attack Clinton West. I've got to go. There is a commercial coming up. When we return, we will return time for the major news stations.
Yes, there's always something new. There's always something exciting.